Crow of Elysium, we honor thee!
We honor thee! We honor thee! We honor thee!
No mortal flame can destroy common woe. Just one fire can conquer. Fire that burns in the fields of Elysium.
Hail, brothers! Many brothers!
Brothers many, make brothers one. Hail fellowship, hail Crow in this verdant kingdom. Common woe be done.
Hail, brothers! Common woe be done! Set us free! 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 Set us free!
Yeah. Look around. Some of the most powerful men in the world are gathered in this clearing. Members of one of our country's most exclusive clubs. Invitation only, unless, of course, you invite yourself. They gather here to seek God between the branches of these magnificent trees. They eat together, they piss next to each other, and they carve up the world like a Sunday roast. This is where the real power is. No women or presidents allowed. The former I am not, the latter I will be again. Because I have managed to reduce a national election down to one state. And while these men here can't swing the votes of an entire nation, one measly state, well, that they can do. And that's why I'm here. So welcome to Elysian Fields.
It's strange for you, isn't it? Without him here.
It's not strange, ma'am. Leanne's in Cincinnati, trying to close the deal for the debate. The president will make a series of appearances across the state as soon as he gets back.
If he survives the weekend. Anything?
No phones allowed.
Well, we're dividing and conquering. This Chinese trade agreement is going to make Ohio voters very happy. It could help us win.
I didn't know the deal had closed.
Well, we're on the verge.
Well, the president can make the announcement in Canton when he appears.
Oh, no, I'll be announcing myself, since I did the deal. Doug, you are very sincere. And very loyal to Francis.
And loyal to you, ma'am. I hope you know that.
I don't mind it if you call me Claire, you know.
I'll show Miss Davis in.
Hi, Jane. Would
Would you mind going over these numbers with me before we meet with the minister?
I have what China says they'll settle for and what I know they'll settle for.
And listen, I want to thank you so much for helping us with this.
I'd like to see an Underwood administration.
Doug, that's all for now.
Yes, ma'am.
You can show me.
I don't want to.
You don't have to protect me.
Each of them has a story, even if they got lost somewhere. It's harder to disappear than you would think. But Rachel is nowhere.
I recognize that neck.
Frank Underwood as I live and breathe. Well, I owe you this.
Oh. He didn't expect you to show up.
I'm always happy to see old friends and make new ones. Frank Underwood.
Benjamin Grant.
Oh, a polyhop, of course. You're a big supporter of my opponent.
He's a forward-thinking guy and a friend. Should be president right now.
There's no talking politics or business while we're here, gentlemen.
Yes, we don't want to poison all this nature with words.
You know the motto.
Yes, buzzing bees sting not here. It's hard to miss.
Ted, I think you know everybody.
Common woe never stood a chance. Mr. President, first time you've been invited, I understand.
I'm almost sure there's an insult in there somewhere, General.
You know, Ted and I just had the most remarkable piece of red meat at a steakhouse out of Canton. I can't remember, do you like prime rib?
In the right company.
If you'll excuse us, Ted and I promised young Benjamin here we'd find him an adult beverage. Drink?
I'd rather not.
You know, everybody was looking forward to spending some time with the general, and now you're here as well. After this weekend, who knows? Maybe this goddamn bastard of an election will get itself resolved. Oh, one little piece of advice that I could give you as long as you're out here. If you don't bother the Yellow Jackets, they won't bother you.
So why didn't you invite Conway?
Brockhart was invited instead.
So there's not going to be a debate next week, is there?
Not a presidential one, no.
I should really be in Ohio shaking hands.
Yeah, you bargained to get in here, Francis, and now you're here. So let me suggest something. Fuck Ohio. This is the campaign.
The general is a traitor, you know that.
The general's trying to be a politician. You would have done the same.
Yeah, but better.
President Underwood? President Underwood, I'm sorry, ma'am, but you're needed in the Situation Room.
Kathy.
I wanted a moment with you before we join the rest of the team.
Oh, I was briefed on the way over.
Not fully.
A Russian research vessel is stuck and sinking.
Yes, they claimed they were taking core samples, some global warming nonsense, but they were looking for oil. There was a distress signal, and then all communication just shut down. We're the only country in position to rescue, so 20 minutes ago we offered.
They declined?
And denied. Petrov does not want us to see what's on board. I understand this is a difficult decision, but there are human lives at stake, and if help arrives, Petrov will be forced to take it.
Okay. Well, thank you. I need to speak with President Petrov directly.
A rescue at sea and a Jackson backs us. Just before your second election day. Sounds like I would be helping you.
The boat sinks, your crew dies. How is that going to look at home?
I tell my people how things look, and that's how they look. I want to show you something. Wait a minute. That. Do you like my face?
A beard doesn't suit you.
I wonder how your citizens would feel about what you've done.
I could return your crew to Russia, Victor. You could return Aiden McCallan.
I don't like to quantify human worth. But McCallan's is higher. Social media is a powerful tool. If there's any rescue attempt by the United States, I will tell the people of Ohio exactly how you look to them, exactly how you disrupted their state's vote. And they will believe me.
Oppenheimer was a member. That tree right over there, right under that tree, Manhattan Project was born.
And right under this one, I'm relieving myself. I hope you're not equating me to the atom bomb. What do you want? Cabinet positions?
Frank Underwood.
Judicial appointments? Legislative support?
Buzzing bees, buzzing bees.
Oh, right, because the Manhattan Project had absolutely nothing to do with business or politics.
I want you to breathe. I want you to look how the moonlight cuts through the trees. Take this time, Francis, to know your other attendees. Think about what kind of president you really want to be.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Just...
Oh, is that what you told the general? Insubordination. Clandestine coup. Oh, yes, that's the stuff of real leadership.
People with money like uniforms.
Mark, just tell me what they want.
I'm waiting for you.
You're up early, Mr. President.
Always.
Are you hungry? I have eggs and orange juice, mountain oysters.
You mean bull's testicles, don't you? I prefer to call things what they are.
This is unexpected. I thought you'd stay out there campaigning till your dying breath.
What, and leave you out here all alone in the wilderness to make all these important decisions? You've done well by me, Raymond. I'd like your support.
I've done well by your wife.
Who happens, at this moment, to rule the White House.
Tell me you're not peddling influence with your wife.
Who, you mean the current acting president of the United States?
For the next 2 weeks. A little restraint now, that would be unexpected. How do you like your eggs?
In the afternoon.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Oh, no presidents here at Elysian Fields, isn't that right?
Only former ones. Or future.
Well, I won't call this politics then, just current affairs. We had a real chance to get Almaty.
Our campaign was briefed.
I think a little more than just briefed.
Do you have an extra pair of socks, Raymond? After 30 years of military service, you think I'd arrive prepared.
Oh, I'm sure someone around here could find you a pair.
Under my bunk.
Thank you.
He's a good man. Hard to find anybody who distrusts or dislikes him. So you want eggs or not?
With this rate of tariff, I'm confident it'll have a mitigating effect on the anti-dumping cases.
I think this is going to work. I'll need to run this by my state counselor for foreign affairs.
I think this is a very good day for both of our countries.
Yes, it is.
There's an American on the boat. The Russian research vessel.
And how do you know that?
Mr. Xu told me before you came in.
I will need proof of that fact.
Of course, but we are only telling you because we know you want to rescue him, and China is willing to help in any way we can.
I'm just curious, Mr. Xu, why are you so focused on this situation?
For humanitarian reasons.
Thank you for your time and cooperation, Madam Acting President.
It's contingent. The minister won't proceed with our tariff deal if we don't give him assurances that the rescue is underway.
Why do the Chinese care so much about what's on this Russian boat?
I don't know. I was just informed myself.
Are they working together?
Again, I don't know.
Are you working with them?
I work with everybody. But that's beside the point. There is an American on board.
And you believe that?
Well, you wouldn't want to make the wrong call.
Bulls, balls, a giant crow, and billionaires chanting, "Set me free." Well, this place says everything I feel but can't express. He can't be your friend. Tusk doesn't have any friends.
He's, an associate.
Really? And how does he associate with you? Oh, to hell with the buzzing bees. No one else is heeding it. A network president, a telecom CEO, the vice presidential candidate. What do you think they're all talking about? The last book they read?
What are you reading?
Your face. Which tells me how much you don't want to be here.
Mr. Tusk was a major donor on Will's campaign.
Yes, so it's interesting that he wasn't invited.
We're partnering on a project. Large-scale data storage centers in the desert. Solar-powered. I need to get ready for my talk. The life after. What we leave behind. Hope you'll be there.
Smell that. Cohiba. I know you're a fan. Even though I don't smoke anymore, doesn't mean I can't.
Who called this weekend's gathering? You?
No. Tusk did. Why?
We think the Chinese are right. There is an American on board. This is Thad Peterson, retired 2 years ago. Director of geophysics research for some of the country's top oil companies.
We strongly suspect he's on board the boat.
Working with the Russians.
Where's the proof?
This was sent from a Russian sailor's cell phone before communications were cut off.
His wife confirmed that this is Thad Peterson's voice on the recording.
In 36 hours tops, that boat's gone.
Yes, but that doesn't prove that Thad Peterson was on the ship.
But, ma'am, he is an American
No,
citizen.
we can't be sure until we have a passenger manifest. Let's reconvene when you know more. What is it, Kathy?
Your decision not to intervene. If an American is working illegally, he will not be on the manifest.
I haven't made a decision. I'm waiting for more information.
This is about Aidan McKellen.
I am very confident China is lying about an American being on board. There is something on that boat they want, and I can't proceed until I know what it is. They say they're motivated by saving human lives, but that's not what's driving them. And I just find it so frustrating when human life is treated with such disregard.
We're sorry, but
The proverbial walk in the woods is not for me. navel-gazing on some forest path, contemplating mortality, immortality. No. History is earned. You win the day, and then you win the day after, and you do the same thing every day until you're dead. And you're remembered not for the winning, but because you never lost. Now. Doug? Doug, can you hear me? I need some leverage out here right now.
What's going on?
Conway is finished. If they win, Brockhart will do all the heavy lifting. He'll essentially be the president.
Should he use the oppo?
Listen, Brockhart is Tusk's pick. I need to find a way to force that old man to support me.
Sir?
Do you hear me?
Mr. President. I'm here.
Tusk has some deal with Polyhop. I need to find a way to stop that. An executive order. Well, no!
Sir?
A little restrained would be unexpected.
Mr. President.
Doug?
Sir?
Don't do anything.
I don't understand.
Don't do anything until you hear from me.
Sir, what about the polyhop deal?
Do you hear me? Don't do anything.
Mr. President,
Have you tried calling him back?
there's no answer. What should we do?
Nothing. That's what the president said, so that's what we'll do.
Should we have his team pull him out?
No, we wait.
Ma'am, if we don't handle this rescue correctly,
Doug.
let me find a way to get the president on the phone with Petrov.
No, Francis doesn't need this distraction.
I disagree.
I know you do.
They say we're only remembered for 3 generations. What would one have to do not to be forgotten?
Young Benjamin here knows what's coming. Who cares if he's never heard of Johnny Carson?
Poor old Tusk. He wears that game face, but he doesn't fool me. Future terrifies him because he knows it's short.
For the record, I have heard of Johnny Carson. He tucked my parents into bed every night. I've been given special permission to show you what we've been working on. Imagine the possibility of your brain, your consciousness, stored digitally in real time. I mean, what is immortality?
In time, even Grant's vision will get old. It will happen, as it does for all of us.
Now, this is still in the early stages, but we've been collecting and storing Raymond's memories, thoughts, quirks, and tics. This is a mock-up, but eventually, this Raymond will feel as real as the one standing before you.
I like dirt and rocks and facts.
No argument here. I trust only what I can hold in my hand or see on my horizon.
Well, but you can't just sit back and admire the view. I've learned you've got to grab the present by the balls. That's where the American people live.
You sound more like a salesman than a president, Mr. President.
Well, if we're Americans, then we are salesmen, right? That's our birthright. Cars and phones and a gallon of gas.
It's not how I see America. I'm a patriot. I serve.
Well, and we salute you, General, but you serve to what purpose? So the rest of America can sell. I mean, you and I, right now, this weekend, we're here at this camp selling ourselves.
Character speaks for itself. People want a president they can trust.
No, they don't. They want a president they know. And I know them. The only future I'm interested in is the next 4 years. So yes, I'm selling tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. I'm selling a boy who used to live on a peach farm who now lives in the White House. I'm selling a tomorrow that you can see and touch and feel. And you take that away and I don't know what this country has left. Except a group of grown men standing around in a circle all staring at a small screen. looking in instead of looking out. Heck, give me a peck of dirt any day of the week.
Here, here. To a peck of dirt.
I will drink to that, but I will also drink to the general. A good servant.
To the general.
I promise you this deal is on the verge of falling apart. Right before your revote. I'm only the messenger, by the way.
We can't let this deal fall apart.
Agreed. But the rescue has to happen immediately.
You seem personally invested in this.
Oh, no. I'm just looking for a solution.
I had a thought. I would be willing to allow the Chinese sailors that are stationed on King George Island to board our icebreaker. Then, purely for the in-house cameras, we let it appear as though the Chinese led the rescue. Now, of course, the whole time the Americans would remain in charge of the boat. But the Russians don't need to know our involvement.
I imagine that would be acceptable. I'll relay this scenario to Mr. Xu immediately.
But I'd also like to round up the tariff to 20%.
We have a firm deal at 19.
I know, but suddenly it just doesn't seem high enough. I think they'll be okay with it.
Fingers crossed. I'll do my best.
That went rather well, I think.
It did. It went very well. You've exceeded everyone's expectations the way you handled yourself all weekend. But Brockhart's someone they can predict.
Don't get ahead of yourself. This is not over.
What are you going to do, Francis? You going to use the Oppo?
Well, it seems to worry you enough.
He's still only the vice presidential candidate.
I'm leaving.
You don't have to go.
No, I know. I don't have to do anything. Do you remember when we first met? You almost joined my second campaign. We sat down at that little greasy spoon in Gaffney.
Yeah, if you'd signed me on, you would have won by a landslide.
I won anyway, because I never lose. You know why I didn't hire you back then? Because when you went to pick up the check, you told me I didn't have to pay you, that you would work for free. I don't trust that, because no one works for free.
Madam President, I'm afraid I can't agree to 20%. The economic implications.
We're at an impasse.
I'm willing to keep the conversation going, but in the meantime...
We'll do nothing until you agree.
Madam President, people will die.
Which is why I'm surprised you won't agree to my terms.
I can't agree to the terms without the approval of my state counselor for foreign affairs.
There are 112 people aboard the vessel. 113 if you count Mr. Peterson. Now, it will go under in 20 to 32 hours. The temperature of the Southern Ocean right now is 28 degrees Fahrenheit. A body will freeze to death within 45 minutes in water that cold. And of course, one loses the ability to swim long before that. Minister Xu, are you still there? Collaborating with President Petrov is always a mistake. The 20% tariff will help you keep that in mind. I'm waiting. It's up to you if they live or die. The crew?
All rescued.
Thad Peterson?
You were right. The Chinese were lying. He's the only one still unaccounted for. The Admiral says there's still a chance to save the boat.
Let it go down.
And whatever Petrov has on it.
We're doing the right thing, Kathy. You got what you wanted, Victor. The boat is gone. Now let's get back to where we left off. What will it take to get Aiden McCallan back on American soil?
He likes it here.
Leaving, Mr. President?
You can put that in the car, thank you. Are you all right?
Better now?
Are you drunk?
You want to pull?
No.
I hate this place. These men. Their privilege, their presumption. The deal with Tusk was a mistake. Do you know, Raymond wants to be frozen, put on ice, till a later date.
I have to get going.
Will Conway is my friend, but this won't end well for him if he wins.
You take care of yourself, Ben.
They have a recording of him.
I'll be right there in a minute.
You have to promise me Will Conway never finds out this came from me.
You know I'm going to be the president, right?
I hope so, sir.
You hope so?
I just mean I'm pulling for you, sir.
I'm going to be the president. You're going to flip me those motherfucking controls.
Sir.
I think this must have been recorded by the pilot.
We should go to MSNBC and CNN first.
We can go wide.
No, let's wait.
Francis, you heard what I heard.
And it'll be just as good tomorrow. Have Doyle confirm it. I'll see you in the morning.
Why not do it now?
We need to wait for the president.
Stories are still swirling around the events leading up to a daring Chinese-led rescue of the crew of a Russian research ship, stuck in ice for almost 4 days off the coast of the Antarctic Peninsula. Although the ship was lost, every crew member was saved. Russian President Viktor Petrov expressed his gratitude to the Chinese government this morning.
Exhaustion must be catching up with the candidates as President Underwood and his running mate took the weekend off. General Brockhart was nowhere to be seen, while only Governor Conway made a pair of quick appearances in the Cleveland area.
That tap water's gonna kill you.
There are worse ways to go.
I have a confession.
What'd you do?
I've had somebody watch you sometimes when you go to New York.
Her name's Karen.
Who is she?
I don't know, you get to ask that. She was my teacher. Theology, among other things.
I don't know why I did that. It's not about jealousy.
She saved my life, actually.
I'm glad.
Well, we won't be seeing Karen for a while. She knows me. She could see how I feel about you.
Ma'am, an initial agreement.
What exactly was on that boat, Jane?
The Chinese and the Russians had access to technology they shouldn't have and didn't want to lose.
And now they've lost it. What aren't you telling me? What did you want out of all of this?
I told you what I wanted. I wanted that American off the boat. He was the technology.
Here, give me that. Go.
Tom Hammerschmidt? Detective, I got the drive. No, I just put it in. And the timestamp says November 3rd, 2013, 8:13 p.m. Hold on a second. You all right?
Yeah. I just need to get out for a minute.
I'm here. I know you're busy, and I can't thank you enough. Let me back you up a bit. Okay, so this is 2 days before she died.
The governor sounds unhinged.
It bothers me, though. It came too easy, don't you think?
Yes, but if we use it, we'll win.
I don't know, Claire. You know these types of people. You should have been there. Why would they hand me? He just handed me this. Why? When they've never wanted me, not from the beginning, no matter what I do.
Fuck them.
I intend to.
And how do you intend to do that?
I'm going back to work. I'm going back to work.
We're glad you came. I hear those weekends can take some recovery time.
I must say I didn't expect to be back here so soon.
Well, Mark, we asked you back here because we've come into possession of a second audio recording of your candidate on an airplane. He's been recorded saying
I know what he said. I was there.
So we were wondering if we can discuss how we might be able to work together.
We can accomplish a great deal, the three of us. Now, before you say anything, let me tell you how this conversation is going to go. You're going to talk about party loyalty, and I'm going to talk about how weak your candidates are and that you really have no choice. And then you're going to say that your ticket can still win Ohio, and I'm going to say, no, they can't. But what's going to go unsaid in this conversation is that Claire and I are willing to do anything. And we know that you are no different.
Okay, I can start by setting up some meetings for both of you. I can't do that publicly, of course. I suggest you release whatever you have slowly, one at a time. Let's make this build. Once it gets out, I'll make sure the Republicans don't come to my candidate's defense.
I was in a really bad place. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't leave my apartment.
Why?
It's mysterious, isn't it? When these things happen. Or maybe it never happened to you. But I woke up one day, and it felt like everything I contemplated doing, everything from going to the coffee shop to reading a book, writing a chapter, it was just laughable.
As in?
As in pointless. And Karen, bless her, she helped me find a point. Or not find one. Realize the possibility of one.
Were you together?
We were married for about 3 years, 1,000,000 years ago. She's a good person. She's just having a hard time, so I'm trying to help her.
Find a point?
Mm-hmm. You ever been that dark?
I want to be with you.
I love you.
I think I might love you too.
That's the script for the 30-second spot. We don't want to hit him too hard. There's a risk of kicking him while he's down.
Who's doing the morning shows?
Friends. They'll respectfully question Conway's ability to serve. And then in the nightly news, we'll have veteran rights activists arguing for better care.
Good.
Sir, the plan is to go after the governor first. And when the general comes to his defense, we use his hot mic comments to take him down too. Congratulations, sir. I wanted to be the first to say it.
We still have to campaign.
Yeah. But you're going to win.
We are, Doug. We are. Common woe be done.